Live Tuesday, June 6th from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios. This is Fantasy Dominance Now. Come dominate fantasy sports with us, and bringing you all the tools to dominate is SoapStash, the new soap standard. Like them on Facebook, SoapStash LLC. Find them online, soapstash.com. And for ordering information, call 844-890-3197. Going from the best soap in the business, we are the best fantasy minds in the business. Woo! Happy 600 Club, everybody, as Albert Pujols joined Elite Company, became the 9th player in league history to hit 600 homers. More people have walked on the moon than have hit 600. Yeah, saw that the other day on Twitter. I was like, damn, that's impressive,
crazy.
Right?
But then you look at that lineup, too. At least 2 or 3 of those guys in that 600 club is juicing.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably a few,
Sammy and Bonds.
well,
I
probably
guarantee.
a few more than 2 or 3. Let's be real here.
A-Rod, too.
Yeah,
Don't forget about him.
Yeah.
Hey, don't
Almost
sleep.
700 there.
Hey, don't sleep. Hank Aaron took amphetamines and stuff back in the day. Like, you want to call everybody, you want to talk about cheaters and stuff and doing extra for the game. I mean, he took amphetamines. He admitted such, because that's what players did back then.
Yeah.
So come on, man. You can't taint it. Everybody was playing on the same level field.
Oh, yeah.
They all hit 600. Leave it at that.
Yep, absolutely. I'm just glad to be back in the saddle again, guys. 2 weeks off, back together again.
I feel fresh.
Yeah. Well, you should. You're Mr. Fresh.
Fresher than normal.
Fresher than normal.
Yeah, he actually washed himself today.
Oh, look who's talking. Your beard not scruffy today.
Yeah, man, I can't wait for the playoffs to be over, man.
You might as well shave it now. It is over. At least for you.
Wow. A 2-2 series, that's
It's
over?
over.
Okay.
Listen, they have a unicorn. It's over.
Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining us. Let me introduce this panel here that's been bickering already. 2 minutes into the show.
Damn right.
We have semi-pro street hockey player Mike Kleinkoff.
Yeah, well, you should have saw the save I had the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Across the crease. I looked like Pico Rene last night.
Yeah?
Across the crease. I was like,
Post to post?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It was nice.
Nice.
And then I let up a little cheesy 5-hole.
Sounds
Just
like Marc-Andre Fleury.
That's where I learned it from.
Going on to Brian Daly, Becky Lynch's #1 fan. What's going on?
Love her.
We got the DFS guru, Doug Pitchford.
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, all right.
We'll go that far.
Whatever. I'll take it.
And I'm Rob Povey. Matt Tsuyi's bringing you all the fantasy dominance from the producer's chair. Now, if you want in on the dominance, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You search a2dradio.com. If you got fantasy questions, definitely tweet us with the hashtag AskFDN. We'll get to your questions live on the show. If you're listening to us after the fact, we'll hit you up on Twitter. We'll get you set in your daily leagues, your league play, whatever you need to dominate in all things fantasy sports, not just baseball.
Woo.
I'm at Robbie BLTZ. Doug, you are at
StatMagnet85.
Mike.
Mike _ Kleinkoff.
Woo.
And Brian, you are.
Brian _A2D Radio.
Woo. Come on, I'm trying to get this rolling here. Like, everybody.
I thought it was your thing. I didn't want to step on your toes.
Whoa.
Well,
Woo, woo. You know it.
no matter what handle you use, just hashtag AskFDN. We'll get to your questions, get you set up, ready to dominate.
Yes, sir.
Let me break down the show. We got a great one in store for y'all. We're breaking down the highlights and lowlights of games 1 and 2 of the NBA Finals, and we'll prognosticate the rest of the series. We'll be discussing the latest MLB injury news and offer ad recommendations that will keep your fantasy baseball team afloat in league play. We also have our top buy low pitchers and hitters, stacks and fades in DFS. But first, we're talking DK Fanduel lock of the night. We asked you all on Facebook and Twitter, who is MLB's DFS lock of tonight's slate? We gave you a couple of options: George Springer, Chris Bryant, Nolan Arenado, or other, because there certainly can be others, and we'll get into that on the show. But you can vote now. We'll get to your results later on the show. Comment on our Facebook page, and we're definitely going to read your comments live. You ain't going to get ignored like the other guys.
Something tells me others going to win.
Yeah, you think so?
Nah, I just have a weird feeling.
That's usually how it is, because there's could be so many locks tonight. Looking through tonight's slate, certainly one that I focused on personally, as my lock of the night, is George Springer. I mean, he's at 4,400, so he's going to cost you a little bit for an outfielder, but he's at Kansas City going against rookie Jake Junis, who had one start up in the bigs, looked okay. He's looked a lot better down in the minors, but second start, a lot of butterflies going against the very tough Houston Astros lineup.
Best team in baseball.
Yeah.
Surprisingly best team in baseball, too. Like, what are they, 39 and 39 and 14, I believe?
No, they're in the 40s at 41, I believe, is their
That's
win total. I'll look it up.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say surprising. Surprising that they have,
the best
that
record in baseball. Yeah, that's what I mean by that. Not surprising that they're a winning team. Surprising that they're the best team in baseball.
Yeah, we definitely saw them being one of the top teams this year.
42 and 16 after last night.
My apologies. I was a couple wins, couple losses off.
They erupted in the ninth inning just to secure that win. Gurriel with a 3-run blast.
I mean, this team just they're hitting on all cylinders. I believe I saw a stat that their 7 through 9 hitters are hitting have a higher on base and slugging percentage than the Cubs 3, 4, 5 hitters this season.
Yeah, that's bad.
Damn.
Gross.
Yeah,
but I love it.
That's a deep lineup.
Oh yeah,
I love it because they're my World Series team from the AL. So off to a good start.
That they are. I don't remember who I picked.
I remember I picked Boston. I don't remember who I picked in the NL though. But
luckily enough, on our YouTube page, you can go back to all of our older shows and check it out as you can out there.
Absolutely, definitely got to refresh myself. I don't have my notes from that show, so.
Mick Foley, shameless plug. So that's one of my locks.
Boo.
That's one of my locks from the night, specific to the poll. Any of these other guys in the poll? Any of your guys' locks of the night, or do you want to go into your individual ones?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I personally voted for Chris Bryant tonight against Miami. I think that's a lock right there. Jeff Locke is, I'm very familiar with the guy. He pitched for the Pirates for 4 or 5 seasons, however long he was there, and he was probably my least favorite Pirate, by the way.
We couldn't tell, Mikey.
He's just, I couldn't stand him. You just knew every time he was going to go out there and pitch, he was going to lose, But he is familiar with the Cubs team, but that just means the Cubs are familiar with him as well. And I think they're going to erupt tonight. And I think, Chris Bryant's going to have a pretty solid game.
I could definitely see that, especially with a soft. He is a soft tossing lefty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. He's one of those guys. He pitches in and around the strike zone. Like he tries to be Tom Glavine, but he's more like Mark Leiter.
Mark Leiter, excellent, Del Grande.
But I mean that's a great pick. I'm actually gonna ride Rob's coattails on this one in terms of lock. I'm also gonna go with Springer. It's been red hot, man. 5 home runs, 9 RBIs over his last 7 games. 14 for 29 over that stretch. Also added a double. For daily leagues, strikeouts don't matter. So like stuff like that, you don't have to worry about. He's killing it right now. You got to roll with that hot bat, especially against a young pitcher in Junis. I just see him going off. Probably going to homer tonight. I say home run, 3 RBIs. He goes 2 for 3 with a walk.
Nice. Tommy likey. Tommy want wingy.
Tommy want wingy. I'm going in a whole nother direction here from you guys. My lock of the night is other. I'm going with Domingo Santana for Milwaukee.
Ooh. Like your style.
Yeah, he's probably going to be relatively cheap. He's going up against Matt Cain and the San Francisco Giants tonight. He's 13 hits, 5 home runs, 13 RBIs in his last 12 games. He's been swinging a hot bat as of late. And I think going up against Matt Cain, who's been struggling the last few years, he's not the same pitcher that he was. I think Domingo Santana can have a very, very big game against Matt Cain.
You know what's pretty funny? I wrote him down as an ad recommendation.
Domingo Santana?
Yeah.
Nice.
I added
tearing
him
the
in
cover
both
off
of
the
my
ball.
leagues.
By the way,
killing it.
he's just about 36%, man. Batting .269, 33 runs, 10 home runs, 31 RBIs, and 5 stolen bases.
It's not bad.
So
No, it's not bad. I mean,
pretty solid.
His early season struggles seem to be behind him for now. It's definitely not bad. Like Matt Cain, to your point, too. Last time out against Washington, 9 hits, a walk over 5 innings. That's 10 base runners in 5 innings to just 3 strikeouts. Only allowed 3 runs, though. But, this is Matt Cain.
Yeah.
To your point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not the same pitcher that he was a few years ago when he threw the first, perfect game no-hitter in San Francisco Giants history when he was a dominant starter and nobody wanted to face him.
Yeah. Well,
He's not the same guy anymore.
show the 2-3 shoulder injuries later. That'll
Yeah.
do that to you.
Yeah.
For sure. Let's hope that doesn't happen to Mad Bum.
I almost decided to pick on Matt Cain tonight. I almost did. I felt a little bad about it, so I went a different direction. I went in your direction with Jeff Locke. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, Locke is definitely not a lock tonight, I can tell you.
Yeah. If you were even thinking of taking a flyer on Jeff Locke, because he did have a high strikeout total in his last game.
Yeah, he pitched a great game against Arizona, no doubt about it.
Which he'll do from time to time, but not consistently.
That's the thing. He was not consistent at all when he was with Pittsburgh, and that's more the reason why we let go of him. But, it's just Pittsburgh had so many young talents, getting ready to come up, and it's just –
There was no room for him.
yeah. And for a guy that struggled, it was hard. I told my dad for years, I was like, we got to get rid of this guy. Like, I'm sorry, Jeff, but, couldn't take it no more.
It happens, man. I mean, he didn't live up to what you thought he could be when he showed, some promise as he, first 5-10 starts out.
Oh, yeah.
That being said, though, about showing promise first 5-10 starts out, I really like this kid as a super cheap play if you're really going to stack your lineup with a bunch of these guys that we speak of, Springer, Arenado, Chris Bryant. I really like, I don't know how to say his name, Dinelson Lamet for San Diego.
Yeah, it's definitely Lamet. I know that.
I think it's Dillison. Danielson, I don't know. Doesn't matter. His last name is Lament.
He's going to get you money in Fanduel and DraftKings.
He definitely is going to get you money in Fanduel and DraftKings. Third start of his career. He's got two solid starts his first 2 times out. 8 strikeouts in both starts against the New York Mets on the road and at home against the Cubs. That's pretty impressive to strike. Go 5 innings, allow 4 base runners first time out, 7 base runners second time out, 8 strikeouts both times out, 2 wins.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Very tough, but
7,700 too. He's super cheap.
Yeah.
I like the matchup against Arizona because you know what, Arizona, for as dangerous as that lineup really is, they do strike out quite a bit. So I could easily see him going another 5 innings, allowing 2-3 runs, 8-9 strikeouts, easy.
But on the flip side, San Diego is one of the highest strikeout teams, and that's why you should go Robbie Ray and pay a little money for him.
Agreed, but see, I see the production being equal, and if production's equal, save the money.
To me, it's such a, it's a high risk, high reward kind of thing. But
right, but I like what this kid's done, man. And his minor league numbers are reflecting
outings.
What he's doing too. I believe his
with
minor
you
league
100%.
numbers, he had a sub 3 ERA, and I believe almost an 11 strikeouts per 9. So this is what this kid does. He's a high volume strikeout pitcher.
You're getting the same K per 9 with Robbie Ray, 10.96 to be specific, against 3.78 walks per 9. What's really impressive about him this season, he's kept that ERA down. He's at an even 3, and his FIP is at 3.28. So long term, you can see regression there based on his career numbers. But in a daily league, you're not worried about that. I don't think there's been anybody hotter than Robbie Ray. But here's the problem, though. To Doug's point, a lot cheaper of an option that can get you comparable points. Robbie Ray's 10,000 on FanDuel. Still, in that matchup, that easily could be a lock of the night as well.
Yeah, to me, I just feel that Arizona's more of that dominant team and could also get you that win. And I could see, Robbie Ray getting that quality start. So there's 10 points right there between the win and a quality start.
I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. I can't see that happening. I just feel like, for the money, if I'm going to spend the 10,000 on Robbie Ray, I'm just going to go all the way and go with go with the real pitching lock, and that's Scherzer. I'll spend the 11.9 and just go that way if I'm thinking about starting Robbie Ray for the extra 23.
Sure, you're going to get production from him tonight. There's two ways about it. But I looked at some of the BVP stats, and some of the hitters on the opposition have decent numbers against Scherzer. So I think Ray will actually outpoint Scherzer tonight.
Yeah, I would definitely with Los Angeles' offense, I would definitely stay away from Scherzer.
They're out in L.A.
They're in L.A.
Yeah, they're in the game's in L.A. Which does help Scherzer because Chavez Ravine's a pitcher's ballpark.
True.
Not to mention his opposition is more what I'm looking at. He's opposing Brandon McCarthy, a pitcher I'm well aware of. I'm an owner of, having a very strong season again after a strong season last year when he pitched. But that's the problem. It's when he pitched. You're talking about a guy who's coming into this start with a finger issue because I believe he has a blister issue. So you're talking about a guy guy who could potentially either only go a couple innings or potentially just get rocked because, he's not right yet. So I'm going to lean to I do like Scherzer in that, especially for the win.
Justin Turner on the DL helps. Certainly that. I mean, you got Bellinger tearing the cover off the ball, though, in his stead.
You got Chris Taylor tearing the cover off the baseball, too.
Bellinger's way more, dude. Look up at the stats. Come on.
Oh, no. What? Man, please. Bellinger just cooled off. He's just starting to hit the ball again. He was cooling off over his last 7 games, where Chris Taylor's still hitting over 330.
You look at the body of work.
I know. Chris Taylor's hitting over 330.
Where did I put my popcorn?
Show me that. Show me that right now, Doug. You freaking make up stats.
No.
Like it's your job. But what you did do well is that's certainly what we want to get into is some buy low pitchers, some value plays.
Oh, yeah.
Lamette is a great one, absolutely
Definitely,
great one. And our buy low pitcher value plays are being brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, your certified public accountants.
Excuse me, 316.
Please don't interrupt me when I'm doing a live read.
Sorry.
Again, I'll kick you the fuck out of the studio.
Ooh.
Gibson Mayer LLC, certified public accountants. Give them a call, 215-369-3300. Definitely continue your point. What's he betting?
316.
316. Not 330, but 316 is still dynamite. Absolutely dynamite. What's some other buy low pitchers that we can look at besides Lamette?
I'm looking at Cincinnati Reds starting pitcher Tim Edelman, who's coming off of 2 strong starts. His 9 Ks, 4 walks, and 14 innings pitched. I forget who Cincinnati's playing tonight.
St. Louis tonight, and he's very low valued, 6,900. So, I mean,
and St. Louis's lineup hasn't been hitting the way that I'm personally used to seeing. Yadier Molina's not having a great year. Matt Carpenter's not having a great year.
Well, they don't have that thumper in the middle of their lineup. They don't have Matt Holliday. They traded away Matt Adams, a guy they didn't even play.
Right.
He's another thumper in the middle of that lineup. They don't have that true power hitter, that true cleanup hitter in that lineup. So that lineup just doesn't look right because it's not right. I don't know. I like Aaron Nola for some reason tonight. At Atlanta, it's a great matchup. Not a pitcher-friendly ballpark, though. That ballpark definitely does allow some home runs.
Truth.
And Aaron Nola allows some home runs. I mean, we just saw, what was it? I believe they put up 13 runs last night, Atlanta.
11.
11,
yeah.
Yeah, 11, 13 runs, doesn't matter. They put up double digits. They crushed them.
And you're getting Aaron Nola for $7,500 on Fanduel, which is a savings.
Right, that's where I was going to next. He is $7,500. If you do get a decent start at Aaron Nola, you can look for 6-7 strikeouts, 6 strong innings. So. And
his BBP is ecstatic, except against Freddie Freeman. But guess who he won't be facing tonight? Freddie Freeman being on the DL with the broken wrist. So, Nick Markakis is 3 for 11, 273 batting average. That's really the best. He's got 2 of those 3 are home runs. Again, to your point. Nola giving up the home runs in Atlanta. But still, I think that's a great value play to pair with a Scherzer or a Robbie Ray as your SP2 on your lineup.
Definitely. I like another guy here with David Paulino, Houston pitcher going up against Kansas City tonight. In his only start this season, went up against Minnesota. He only pitched 4 innings, but he had 8 strikeouts in those 4 innings allowed, 6 base runners and 2 earned, but pretty solid. That's 30 points in 4 innings being pitched. So
right.
Yeah. And I know that, being that I picked him up for a spot start tonight, I actually looked into this, and the Houston manager did make it a point to be known that he will go deeper into this game, or at least be allowed to go deeper into this game. So you can potentially see a 5-6 inning quality start out of this guy.
Yeah, Kansas City's been they've been a weird team this year.
They've been the worst offensive team in baseball.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
There's been times where they've been slugging the ball too, and then it's just other times where it's been horrible.
Terrible.
Another guy I'm looking at is a guy that Brian actually traded to me recently, Hector Santiago, only 6,400 on FanDuel, and he's at Seattle. My preference here between Nola and Santiago actually leans towards Santiago. Despite Seattle's offense being pretty hot the last 7 days, they struggle against left-handed pitching, and that's when Santiago dominates is when he goes against teams that have low OBP against left-handed pitching. So, you look at Cano's lifetime numbers versus Santiago, which is, one of their key bats in their lineup. Not very pretty. He is 3 for 24 lifetime. It's a 125 batting average with 3 Ks, 5 walks, no home runs. So could be a very sneaky play, Doug.
Could be. Could absolutely be. Though you got to worry. Though you still do have to worry about some of the other bats in that lineup. Nelson Cruz,
Sure.
Ben Gamble's heating up again. Guys like that. So it's a little bit of a scary start. Still a good start, especially with the year he's having. He's having a great year to this point.
Yeah, to your point with Cruz is 5 for 18 with 3 homers. So, moderate numbers there. So,
Please, that would be nice. I have him on my team.
What's that? What is he, 5 for 18? Is that like just under 300 still, right?
Yeah, 278.
Yeah.
So it's not lighting it up, but that could be a bat that you worry about. A bat you're not going to worry about is Kyle Seager. Lifetime numbers 2 for 21 against Santiago.
He's garbage. I'm so happy I got rid of him.
He's not garbage, man.
No.
He's a quality player. He's just not an elite player.
Yeah. He was one of my keepers this season because I needed a third baseman. So I figured I'd keep him. And
that was a mistake.
Yeah.
It's just
I sent it to you guys, and you go, oh, yeah, Seager's good.
He is good. Well, he was better than what you had.
Yeah. No, definitely.
So, question for you guys, and I'm kind of like on the fence on this, is how would you guys feel about picking up Dylan Gee from the Texas Rangers going up against DeGrom and the Mets tonight?
No. It's like a girl from
Not with
Bayonne.
DeGrom.
Leave it alone.
He had a good start last time out. 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, but there's always something about going back to where you came from, and pitching there, so to speak.
It'll be at Texas, but going against the team,
right?
You get too amped. It's good for positional players like Daniel Murphy, but for pitchers that need to, silence the mechanism, it can definitely work to your detriment. I almost rolled with Dylan Gee as a value play, though. I do like where your head's at and what have you, and based on his last start and whatnot. But then I looked at some of these numbers, right? What was it looking for? You got Jay Bruce, lifetime homer against them. Curtis Granderson, homer against them. These aren't great numbers. You got, Cespedes, he's not playing, but 1,000 average against them or whatnot. I just didn't like the matchup of the hitters versus the pitcher on top of going against Jacob deGrom.
Well, how many of the players that are in the Mets lineup now would be going up against him for the first time? Like Conforto would probably be going up against Gee for the first time.
True.
Wilmer Flores will probably be going up against him for the first time. So, I mean, you got to worry about Cespedes, Bruce, all the other power guys in the Mets lineup. But there's a lot of players that are in this lineup that are going to face him for the first time. So that could work to having Gee in there for his benefit.
Yeah, but just facing him for the first time doesn't necessarily mean that they haven't seen him before.
Like certified G.
Right. I mean, you're right, too. It works both ways.
Because a lot of these guys have played with Dylan Gee on those teams. Like Wilmer Flores
Familiarity.
Wilmer Flores was a young player on those teams watching him pitch. Curtis Granderson obviously was there when Dylan Gee was there. Some of these other guys, they've seen this guy through spring training and what have you. They faced him in spring training and what have you on those backfields. So they know, they have an idea of what he has. I never liked that. I never like when hitters have an idea of what you had, but yet they've never played you in a game. That's not ever necessarily a good thing because they also means that they also know some of your quirks or they have more insight to your quirks. So I try to avoid, matchups like that just off GP.
And to be clear, what we're talking about here, we're talking about a lot of picks for GPPs, guaranteed prize pools. We'll get into, maybe before we end the segment, I'll run off a couple cash game options that sometimes can be a little different, not always the same strategy involved. Let's move on to little buy low hitters. Move on to some hitters. And this goes off of your point. I've been dying to get back to it. A really buy low hitter I'm going to roll with tonight is Jason Hayward at 3,200. In terms of lifetime numbers versus Mr. Locke, I mean, much like most of the Chicago lineup, it's definitely pretty disgusting. Jason Hayward, 9 for 25, 360 average. No homers, but definitely has hit some extra base hits. Gotten some RBIs. I think he'd be a great value play to maximize on your cost of your lineup. Matter of fact, just to abridge that to stack of the night, I'm going Cubs hitters against Jeff Locke as well.
100%.
Wow.
Another guy that's a buy low for the Cubs right now, Javier Baez at 2,600. So second baseman there. I think that's another safe pick, and it's not too much of a risk. Paying that much money if he only gets you 6 points or 10 points,
Absolutely. Baez is 4 for 6 lifetime with a triple and a homer against your former pitching. Well, I was about to say ace.
Yeah.
Got him.
Stop it.
Anthony Rizzo, 10 for 26, 4 homers, 9 RBIs lifetime. It's a 385 batting average in case you're scoring at home. It's definitely, it screams play, but a lot of people, we were on the same page. How many times are other people out there going to be on
That's
the same
the thing.
page and you're going against
them? We don't want
them?
high percentage things, and that's
Right.
why, like, tonight I feel like a lot of people, like with Robbie Ray, are looking at that matchup and saying, oh, San Diego strikes out a lot.
Right.
And that's where Doug comes in and says, I'm taking the flip pitcher on that game, where a lot of people won't be thinking that.
Right.
And like we said before, Arizona is another team that, can strike out a lot as well.
Sure.
So
It's perfect cash play.
Yeah.
Is really what
Yeah,
Lament
because,
is. He's
listen,
perfect cash
the thing
play.
that I've read, and it's all about FanDuel, is you want home run hitters.
Yep.
It said like 95% of teams that have won are like they had like 6 guys hit a home run.
Right.
And that's what you're looking for, really. I mean, obviously you want like 25, 30 points from your pitcher, but if you could get 6 guys on your team to hit a home run, you're solid.
Sure.
That's 12 points right there for a solo shot.
Right.
Absolutely.
So
Right. Now, to my point of buy low, Jason Hayward's not really a guy that's going to be popping out of the ballpark.
no, but
so.
again, he's going up against Jeff Locke, which he's had a tremendous career against.
So
Right.
he has the opportunity to go yard, especially against a guy who does let up the long ball.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Soft tosser.
Absolutely. But being that some of these may be played a lot, Brian and Doug, do you have some options for buy low hitters or stacks of the night that, maybe would go against the grain in GPPs?
Well, in terms of a stack, I would consider the Yankees against Drew Pomeranz. It's in the stadium. Drew Pomeranz hasn't had a really good year. Drew Pomeranz, let's be real, he's a busted prospect. He's a busted top-tier prospect who's basically had one half of a good year. He does let up a lot of home runs. He walks a lot of guys, and these Yankees lineup is pretty hot right now. A guy I would consider for, your lineup is Matt Holliday.
Yes.
Definitely. Matt Holliday has been hot. He's 3,400, which is kind of cheap for a first baseman. I believe over his last 7 games, he's got 3 home runs, 7
dude,
RBIs, 2 doubles to go with it, and a couple of walks, 9 for 25 over that stretch. I could see him going yard tonight, driving in 2 or 3 easy.
He's been one of the hottest players. Again, you guys are naming more ad recommendations for me. So another one, Matt Holliday.
I mean, he's
like 47% owned.
He's 37, 38 years old, still showing that he can play at a high level and
Have
still
you
be
seen his
productive.
forearms?
There's 4, yeah, right?
His forearms are insane. It's like adding
Popeye?
3 of mine together. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
As far as stacks go, I'm actually going to oppose Doug and go stack the Boston Red Sox. They're going up against Masahiro Tanaka, who I don't think has had a good start yet this season. He's been struggling. His location has been terrible since game 1, and
He's
he's getting hit. He's getting hit hard.
Very up and down.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll have 2 bad starts. He'll have 1 pristine start. Then he'll go back to having 2 mediocre starts, and then he'll have a phenomenal start. So you don't know what you're getting at.
Like that Paul
Yeah,
Abdul
and-
song?
And, this Red Sox lineup is starting to come around. They're starting to hit again. They're starting to score some runs. And I think if, there's any team out there to stack against Tanaka, it would definitely be the Red Sox because the Red Sox have I think one of the best lineups in all of baseball when they're hitting well.
Definitely. And Benintendi's a cheaper play at 2,800 as well. And then obviously you want to try to match him with Mookie or just look at the order. It's hard because the projected lineups aren't out yet for us. But when they do, try to go for that, the 2, 3, and 4 guy. And, Benintendi's usually bats earlier in the lineup. And then another guy, Jackie Bradley at 3,400, I think is another safe play tonight as well if you're going for a Boston stack.
Yeah, if you're going for a Boston stack, absolutely.
What's good about particularly tonight, and that's what we're speaking of here, so if you're tuning in another day, maybe some of this may not apply for you, but we'll get into league talk later on in the show. What's good about tonight is the pretty late slate.
I love it.
First game, 7:05, your Pirates at Orioles, going to you got 4 games that are out on the West Coast, 9:40 and after, starting with the Padres, Diamondbacks, Blue Jays, Athletics, Nationals, Dodgers, which is a matchup we talk about. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a second, as well as the Twins, Mariners. So definitely times where you can wait with that lineup and see what that projected lineup's going to be before you actually hit that submit button.
Yeah, or you could sign up. They do now have late swaps.
Oh, I love it.
True.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
best
now
thing
you
ever.
can now you can't just lock in your lineup and kind of sit and wait and see what happens. Just pick a lineup out and then just revise it maybe a half hour before 7 o'clock
Yeah,
if you have time.
That is the best thing I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
I
the
love
late
having
swap.
that late swap back.
It's so
It has
nice.
changed so much because that killed me for basketball. I'd make a lineup around 5:30, but I'm at work and that's
Sure.
when I go on break.
Sure.
And it's like, then I come back and I get all these updates like, oh, this guy's not starting. I'm like, come on, and it's already too late because I'm home from work now, and it's like, shit.
It's for the,
Dag nabbit.
There's
For
$10.
the loss.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about a lot of who we're starting, who we're advocating for you to start, who for you should pay some money on in your FanDuel DraftKings lineups. Who are we going to fade? Who are we going to stay away from tonight in tonight's slate? You talked about a little bit before, Doug. I'm going to just accentuate that point. I'm fading the Dodgers hitters versus Max Scherzer. Despite some success that I said in terms of comparing them to Ray, overall, Max with Kershaw, best pitchers in the game. Dodgers hitters, yet you're missing Justin Turner. Yasiel Puig is struggling. The only play I might go near, and this is if he starts, is Franklin Gutierrez at 2,300. He's actually 4 for 10 versus Max with 2 doubles and a homer against only 3 Ks lifetime, but he's not guaranteed to start. He's not one of the regular starters. He started last night, so that's another thing you have to check. The lineup beforehand, but luckily it's a late slate.
100%.
Towards the entry out there in LA.
Pitching wise tonight, I don't even like my own boy Ivan Nova going up against Baltimore. It's in Baltimore too, which kind of scares me a little more. So, he's been having a great season, but for tonight's purposes and saving money in your wallet, don't go Nova tonight.
Feel ya.
yeah.
Absolutely. Any other fades that we want to tell the peoples before we get into some cash game advice?
You covered mine, so we're good.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
avoiding Rizzo tonight. 4 for his last 20.
Yeah.
Just not swinging a great bat. Does have 2 doubles over that span, so 2 of his 4 hits are for extra bases. But I don't like the way he's swinging a bat right now. I'm fading that off.
The only thing, though, is that against the Loch Ness Monster, he's 10 for 26. So maybe this might be the matchup to revitalize him. But if he's slumping and the money you got to spend on him, it may still be a good fade.
Yeah, he's pretty expensive right now.
Yeah. Despite the fact he's not having the greatest of years. When you look at his numbers, they're not he's doing all right, but they're not that great.
Sure. I'm glad I made the right choice in the Rizzo Bryant debate in terms of keepers going into this year.
I was just going to say, I bet you're happy you didn't keep him.
Absolutely. Actually, before we move on from
Ever.
GPPs. Brian, you made a full lineup. You want to run that lineup down real quick for the peoples? Do you still have access to that?
Yeah, I still have access. It's actually sitting right here in front of me. So I base this lineup off of cheap plays and players that you can basically get off of the free agency wire off of league play. So,
Sure.
All right. So a catcher, I would go with Alex Avila from Detroit. He's cheap play. He is batting well over 300 this year. He's a good source of RBIs for the Detroit Tigers. First base, I'm going to go with Logan Morrison from Tampa, showing off his power with 16 home runs this year. Second base, I'm going Yan Jarvis Solarte from the San Diego Padres. He's a good source of RBIs, good source of walks. Yuna Escobar is going to be at third base from the Los Angeles Angels, swinging a little bit of a hot bat, 7 hits in his last 4 games. Shortstop, I'm going to go Brandon Crawford from the San Francisco Giants. He has 11 hits in his last 12 games, also swinging a hot bat.
One thing, by the way, 3 walks for Brandon Crawford last night, too. So there's more points there.
Nice.
Outfield position, I have Max Kepler from the Minnesota Twins, Lorenzo Cain from the Kansas City Royals, and as aforementioned, Matt Holliday from the New York Yankees. Yeah, like I said earlier, Holliday showing that he can still play and produce at his old age. Cain, it's a good source. He'll get you some stolen bases, good hitting. And Max Kepler, he's been a good all-around hitter this year. He'll get you home runs, doubles. I think he's even stolen a couple backs this year. If your DFS has a utility spot, which I'm not sure if they do, pretty sure they do, but I'm going to go Joe Mauer, showing signs of his old self a little bit this year. So, and plus, that Minnesota Twins lineup has been good most of the season, and I don't think there's really a bad player in that lineup
Right.
at the moment. Starting pitcher, I already said that I would go with Tim Edelman from Cincinnati. And relief pitcher, I would actually go Tommy. I'm not exactly sure how to say his last name, but Kenley. Tommy Kenley from Chicago.
Sounds good.
The White Sox.
Yeah. Irishman from Chicago. I think that's good. That works for me. That works for me.
He's got a tremendous strikeout to walk ratio. I believe it's 40 to his walk rate.
Yeah.
His walk numbers isn't still in the single digits. So
Absolutely. Before we pay some bills, I'll give some cash game advice. Here's the best pitchers for tonight. Chris Archer going against the
100%.
White Sox.
I think that's who I'm going for tonight, to be honest. Yeah.
Cash, great matchup. Jake Arrieta, James Paxton. We talked about Robbie Ray and Scherzer already. They translate to the cash game as well. The best value, Jaime Garcia for the Braves. He's gone at least 6 2/3 innings in each of his last 3 starts, allowing just 1 earned run combined. He allowed just 2 earned runs in 6 innings with 6 Ks in his previous start versus the Phillies. So going up against the same Philadelphia team that's in the bottom 10 and weighted on base average versus left-handed pitching and overall OBA in the last 7 days, so it just screams a great cash play. According to Vegas, the biggest favorites tonight are the Mariners, Cubs, Diamondbacks, Rays, and Mets. The highest run expectancy is Indians, Rockies, Tigers, Mets, and Diamondbacks. And last but not least, just a quick weather concerns. Red Sox and Yankees are expecting rain most of the day, but it should clear up around the time the game is supposed to start, so you should be good there for those plays in the Red Sox versus Yankees. We talked about several of them in this first segment. Phillies at Braves will have a 30 to 40% chance of pop-up thunderstorms, so that screams rain delay and maybe game cessation. You don't bug with the Thunder.
Late
so.
swap.
Yeah, late swap. Exactly. And then you got Indians and Rockies has a slight chance of storms during the day, but should clear up by game time. So overall, pretty clean weather report. Happy hunting in your DFS leagues. We're on the other side. We're going to get into the walking mash unit. It's going to be a new segment because
walking mash.
That's what I watched Fear of Walking Dead premiere on Sunday night, but this season has seemed like that. It's been. I don't remember this amount of injuries. There's a whole crop of others we're going to get to. We're going to get to ad recommendations for league play. We didn't forget about you league players out there in case you don't play the DFS. But all that and more here on Fantasy Dominance Now, brought to you by the Soap Stash, the new soap standard. These are my people. Very, very dear friends of mine. Known them a long time. And they want you to treat your skin with the best nutrients and feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all their products, which is 100% natural and great for your skin. Contact Soap Stash today for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. Give them a call, 844-890-3197. Look up their wonderful products, soapstash.com. Facebook, Soap Stash LLC, awesome Facebook page. You can order right there. That's where they prefer you to order. Get expedite shipping. Beautiful. Soap Stash.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You know it, right?
Yeah, I did it right through Facebook. It's so easy, simple. Just tell them what you want. 3 days, I think, maybe. It was awesome.
3 days.
If it was even that long, they're awesome. I love the soap, by the way.
Yeah,
it smells good, makes your skin feel good. It's a good product.
I use the Nelson this
I love
morning,
it. My hands
I'm feeling good.
They feel like silk after.
Yeah,
Nice and soft.
Yeah, absolutely. They're getting CDC oil too, which is great for your skin as well. That they're going to start adding to their products. So
awesome.
Contact Soap Stash today. You won't be sorry. Trust me. You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now here on A2DRadio.com.
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real talk, A2DRadio.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
And welcome back to today's Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com. If you want in on the dominance, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You search A2DRadio.com. If you got fantasy questions, tweet us with the hashtag AskFDN. We broke down all of tonight's slate, GPPs, cash games for your Fanduel or DraftKings lineups. If you're just tuning into us, you can go back to the beginning of the show or stick with us live and go back at the end of the show. On demand, live broadcasting. Nobody else does it in the world. A2DRadio.com, a new kind of sports talk. We're getting into baseball injuries, and this walking mash unit, as I'm trying to get this segment called, is being brought to you by the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or look them up online, scanzanosports.com. Come get your game in shape. Come get your baseball game in shape. And if you're nursing an injury like several of these players will be getting into, they'll help you rehab with the quickness. So who has really hurt your guys' lineups that has gotten hurt and is just like, what the freak am I going to do now?
My whole goddamn team. I'm so happy, like, half of my team is back, which is great. But I had, like, 5 or 6 pitchers on the DL at the same time. I was dying. I was literally, like, I had let's see, I'm just looking now. Cole Hamels, Bumgardner. I just picked up Andrews. He's on the DL now. I had Corey Kluber on the DL, J.A. Happ on the DL, Dallas Keuchel on the DL, and now Verlander is day-to-day with his groin injury. And
Sounded like my match
actually,
unit.
Mark Melancon was on the DL not too long ago, and Sean Kelly, another guy that was on the DL that I had on my team, all at the same time.
Yeah.
I feel your pain, man.
It
I
was
think mostly everybody
Awful. Awful. Wait, did I say Kluber too?
Yeah,
Corey
you said
Kluber was on the DL as well, if
You
I
said
didn't say
Kluber.
his name. I was like,
I mean, at one point, I was in your boat, man. I had Kluber on the DL. I acquired David Price, who was still on the DL, Aaron Sanchez on the DL, Brandon McCarthy on the DL, AJ Pollock on the DL. So, yeah, I'm right there with you in terms of just like why. Oh, I had Chris Tillman, too, at some point, on the DL.
And that's not on the down low, people.
Yeah,
Also, I have Freddie Freeman now on the DL as of, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Please come back. But you know what, though? I recently acquired for me and any other people that have Freddie Freeman. Justin Smoke has been on absolute fire.
Yeah.
He's batting .287 this year, and just in the last 4 games, he has 3 home runs, 6 RBIs. So
another
we'll
guy.
peek at the ad recommendations.
yeah,
I like it.
I'm so excited for it.
I mean, another funny enough. Speaking of another guy that I now have, who's now day to day, is Marwin Gonzalez, who also is a ad candidate with a left hand injury.
Yeah, we're battling each other.
Dude, please, dog, just please. This guy. Tell him what you are right now.
I'm 9-0.
That's
All
fine.
right.
That's
There's
fine.
only 2 guys in our league right now that are above 500.
You know what? I actually like the fact that he's undefeated because I remember the last time I won, he was also undefeated.
Yeah.
And there's only one way to go, and that's down.
Oh my God.
And one way that might be happening for me is Erod going down.
Yeah, that's
Eduardo Rodriguez.
That's huge.
Yeah,
definitely.
In case you don't know, had a knee injury, got scratched from the start, and he saw the famous Dr. James Andrews, who advised him to rest his knee, not do anything for 3 to 4 weeks. The good news is there was no ligament damage found.
That's good.
Awesome, yeah.
The bad news is there's a decent chance that the southpaw won't be available to pitch till the end of the season.
Ooh.
And he was really breaking out finally.
Oh, he was having a
Finally. So that's been a pretty devastating injury for this week. I feel you with the Matt Andres. I had Danny Duffy as well on the same time, the same team that I have Matt Andres, and he's going to be out for a while himself. Danny Duffy was placed on the 10-day disabled list with a grade 1 oblique strain. He's expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks, and that's, he was already scuffling a little bit from his hot start. Maybe he was pitching through this injury a little bit, and he finally got to the point where he couldn't play anymore. You got a good grin on your face.
Don't hate me.
Yeah, so I haven't been really facing with any injuries. The only guy I have on a DL right now is the guy I picked up in free agency. And that's John Gray, who's about to face live batters.
That's
in
right.
rehab.
You deserve some good luck because you've had some pretty rotten luck.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're not kidding.
Yeah.
The only other guy that I have hurt is Josh Harrison, and he's day to day. I don't think anybody's really put out any updates yet on him.
That's right. You asked me about an update. I'm going to check this one news feed real quick.
Yeah. Well, while we're going in that, some other guys who are hurt, obviously we got Garrett Richards, who's been transferred to the 60-day disabled list with that right bicep strain. Still hasn't even begun throwing, so he's just a guy who just should be completely off the fantasy radar for now. But worth mentioning because if he does come back at some point, he definitely is a guy to look at in terms of an ad. Another guy who's progressed into a throwing program finally, and that is Tyler Skaggs, also the Angels. He's coming back from a right oblique strain. He was expected to miss 10 to 12 weeks, but beginning the throwing program that he did about 2 weeks ago, there's some promise he could be back before 12 weeks. So that's a good thing. You could be back in the 9 to 10 week range. So, it's just a guy to keep an eye on.
A guy with a world of talent, much like Steve, our guy Steven Matz, but just cannot stay healthy throughout his career.
Absolutely. I mean, we already mentioned I mentioned Marwin Gonzalez with the left hand discomfort. Another Houston Astro who's trying to work his way back from an impingement in his right elbow. That's Colin McHugh. He's been doing some light work on the mound as of the 31st. He still hasn't really begun a true throwing program yet. So that's something to be wait and see. They're hoping that by the end of this week that he's going to be beginning throwing breaking balls and whatnot. So you're still talking about at least 4 to 6 weeks on Colin McHugh before he's back and ready to rock and roll. Houston's been decimated in terms of that rotation. A couple other guys, Charlie Morton, just hit the 10-day DL with a strained right lat. He was shut down on the 31st. They're actually going to reevaluate him later today, so he's a guy to maybe go check and see what his status is moving forward. Another guy who hit the disabled list, who should be back by the end of this week, supposedly, if not beginning of next week, that's Joe Musgrove. Struggling young starter. He was having some right shoulder discomfort. He did play catch yesterday from about 90 feet. So that's a good sign for him. Just check his status moving forward. But he's a guy who probably will be back at the earliest by mid to late next week. Reality says probably in another 2 to 3 weeks.
Gotcha. When you were talking about it, you mentioned the 10-day DL. Do you think because they went from a 15 to a 10-day DL, that's why you're seeing more players getting put on the DL that normally wouldn't have or would have been just day to day?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, because because a lot of guys, if you have like some tightness in your groin or you have tightness on your calf or your hamstring, guys would sit 3, 4, 5 days because they didn't want to go on a 15-day DL. They sit 3, 4, 5 days, 7 days tops, but they'd be all right. Why would you waste the DL stint for 5 to 7, 8 days? Whereas now 10 days. If a guy's going to be out 5 to 7 days, you might as well put him on the 10-day DL. Like, it just doesn't make sense because you're not losing him for that extra 5 days when he's, like, ready to rock and roll.
Right. Absolutely. A little update on Jean Segura, who's been out. He's on the 10-day DL, speaking of which, with an ankle injury. He's optimistic that he will be back from the DL sometime before the end of June, according to Bob Dutton of the Tacoma News-Tribune. He was placed on the disabled list Saturday and said he's already seeing major improvement after getting treatments to reduce the swelling, obviously rolled over that ankle. It's great news from a recovery standpoint, as it feels like, this hot-hitting shortstop won't be sidelined for too long, barring any setbacks. Segura finished May with a 358 average and an 883 OPS. So, I know fantasy owners are desperate to get him back in his lineup. I'm sure the Seattle Mariners are as well.
Yeah, they've been scuffling since he hit the DL.
How can we not talk about this? This was a little while ago, but I had to bring this to the show because we haven't had a chance to talk about it. Mike Trout, first time ever in his career hitting the DL. And he didn't. It's not just a little nagging injury, unfortunately. He actually, tore ligaments in his thumb, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was like a Chris Paul injury.
Yeah, they said it's an ulnar collateral ligament.
Yep, there
in
you
his
go.
left thumb.
I wasn't sure what the ligament was. Yep. But, he got surgery. He had the cast removed on Sunday, but he'll be wearing a stabilizer for the surgically repaired thumb, once he returns from the DL as well. So it's something that really, he's going to be out for a little bit, and then it may even affect his production when he does come back. So, you don't replace a Mike Trout. He's the best player in baseball. You don't replace him in a fantasy baseball standpoint. Maybe we'll get on the other side. We'll get into some guys that maybe can help in certain areas. Jumping ahead a little bit, just because he pops up on the injury report as well. One guy that I recommended to I think it was to you, Mike, in turn, you asked about, who could possibly replace Trout. Your boy, Scott Schiebler,
Yep.
Cincinnati Reds, he's day-to-day currently with a little shoulder discomfort, but he felt great after hitting in the batting cage Monday, and he hopes to actually get back in the lineup tonight. So he's just day-to-day. You want to monitor that.
Well, that's good considering I was watching the game. I watched his injury. It was very, very reminiscent of what happened to Michael Brantley.
Yeah.
When full extension diving grab, and he just landed right square on his shoulder, and it just did not look pretty. Like, it just looked like he messed it up. So that's good if there's no real ligament damage and there's no damage at all structurally. He's very, very lucky because that did not look good.
Yeah, certainly. Any other injury guys you want to talk about while we're busting out the walk and mash unit.
We'll talk about Aaron Sanchez. Still dealing with blisters on his fingers. This guy just can't catch a break, it seems. He did play catch yesterday. According to reports, he's going to require a DL stint. He's been on the DL since mid-May with this latest finger issue. I would expect him back probably like a week or two. Just basically just getting his arm back into shape, so to speak. But it's a good sign for him, though. Good sign for the Toronto Blue Jays getting back there, one of their young aces. Another guy from the Blue Jays, Devin Travis, was hit by pitch a couple days ago on the left hand. X-rays did come back negative on that hand, so there's no bone damage, no broken bones, nothing serious. Obviously, was not in the lineup yesterday. Probably not going to be in the lineup today. He should be back in the lineup towards the end of the week. So he'd be a great DFS play towards the end of the week as long as his bat's still hot.
Can we talk about Ryan Braun for a second?
No.
Found his way. He said no. Found his way back onto the DL again. I believe this is his third or fourth trip this season so far onto the DL.
That's what happens when you don't juice anymore.
At least second, because they brought him back way too early.
Yeah.
That's why he got re-injured here.
Yes, this is a calf injury. Status is still uncertain, and this was on May 26th. So
I'm curious, did the Milwaukee Brewers share a medical staff with the New York Mets? Like, seriously, just wondering, because they both suck. Just saying. AJ Pollock, Arizona Diamondback center fielder, been on the DL with a right groin strain. He is hitting. He is doing exercises, and he is running. He's jogging. He's not running yet at full speed.
The demons.
Yeah. They're hoping to get him back by the end of next week. And they're saying that he won't even require a DL stint, that he's just ready to rock and roll once he's able to go full speed.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. I want him back. I need to plug that dude back in.
I know you do.
Bad.
Little update on a guy that I know Brian had to drop out of injury need, and I swooped him up, Jameson Taillon.
yeah, I wasn't sure what was going to go on with him.
Testicular cancer, you're not sure, especially when there was reports that they saw a little bit more evidence of cancer after the treatment. Well, since then, they've been able to, re-diagnose. He's doing okay. He's back on a pitching program. Maybe he's getting some, meds to help that situation. I mean, thoughts and prayers certainly to him and his whole family. A lot of times the family goes through it worse than the actual person themselves. I'm the first one that could tell you about that. But he's back, he's healed, and he's been lights out in AAA. He's set to take the hill for another rehab start at AAA on Wednesday. They want to really just stretch him out in his previous starts down there. It's been, maybe 3 innings, 5 innings, maxing out like 60, 70 pitches. So they just want to make sure he's good before. This should be the last time, though. This should be the last rehab start before he's brought back with the Buccos. So certainly a guy that, if you're in a league where, they just not enough DL slots to hold on to Taillon, swoop him up, he should be back. If not next week, definitely the week thereafter.
Oh, absolutely. Couple more DL pitchers that should be back here in the near future. King Felix, he had right shoulder inflammation. He threw a 2-inning simulated game on June 2nd. And they're saying that he should be able to begin a rehab assignment at AAA starting tonight, actually. So you could expect maybe 2-3 starts down at AAA, and then Hernandez back in your lineup. Another Mariners pitcher, Hisashi Iwakuma, he also was on the DL with a right shoulder inflammation. He just threw a 15-pitch simulated game on the 3rd, so he also should be soon being slated for a rehab assignment, and then probably back in your lineups in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Nice.
Very nice.
Very, very nice.
Yeah.
Any other injuries? So I do have the AL and NL players to go through too, but I don't want
Yeah.
to shortchange any other injury news first.
Only a couple more. I got Steven Matz. He's already started a rehab assignment. Was sent down to start his rehab assignment on the 22nd. He's thrown a couple rehab starts now, coming off of left elbow inflammation. He's a guy that should be activated from the DL almost any day now. If he's not activated before the weekend, he'll definitely be in your lineup next week. That's for certain.
Beautiful.
And Wellington Castillo, Orioles catcher, just hit the DL with a groin strain on the 31st. So they expect him back after the minimum 10 days. So, if you're in need of a catcher, we got one or two guys for you on the other side.
Nice. Very nice.
I can't think of anybody else really significant,
Yeah,
that we haven't
I
covered.
think all the
already.
significant guys got covered.
Yes. Well, I mean, we rattled off, about 20 names, 25 names?
It's hard to keep track.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Absolutely, and it won't be the last time, too. Like I said, it just this 10-day DL, great for teams, horrible for fantasy owners because now. But maybe a guy that's going on a 10-day DL, maybe it's retro to a couple of days, and like it normally would have not been put on the 15-day DL. That's for depth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
One more guy that I'm going to throw out there just because he is still fantasy relevant, and I can't believe we haven't talked about him at all. Jacoby Ellsbury. He's been out with a concussion.
Second one this season, too.
Yep, second one this season. They've shut him down completely from all baseball activities. He actually is expected to see a neurologist either yesterday or today. So we should get an update on his status and when he can start beginning baseball activities and everything moving forward. But, yeah, that's actually really scary, though. He actually this concussion stint actually is from his last concussion that he received. He actually started receiving headaches and things like that again, which is why he's back on the concussion disabled list.
And that's what leads me right into the next point here about him is that his true source of fantasy production is on the base pass, stealing bases. And when you're dealing with a concussion, it's not really too comfortable for the head running a lot. No. And bouncing around, having that brain bounce around a little bit in there. So now you're taking away something that's his strength. He did get off to a hot start of the season, cooled off a little bit. I think he's just a guy I'm just staying away from at this point. I mean, concussions scare me in general, but specifically based on the player, has a little more to lose than, say, maybe a power hitter. Just a simple observation.
Yeah. Yeah, but, I mean, we've seen the results of concussions even on great players. I mean, we saw what happened to Justin Morneau.
Mm-hmm.
It basically completely derailed like 4 years of his career, his prime of his career.
Yeah.
A few other guys you can mention in there, too. Brian McCann's had a lot of concussion issues. Matt Holliday had concussion issues for a little while there, which kind of messed with his bat. So it's shown that, head injuries do really have an issue at the plate. Joe Mauer. Joe Mauer struggled for a while.
That's a great example. That's what I was trying to think of, yeah.
With concussions and the effects of that on his bat and his hand-eye coordination. So, there's really something serious to it.
One guy that doesn't have a concussion, we talked about him in the DFS plays. I'm going to talk about him again. George Springer, your AL Player of the Week. All he did last week, 11 runs, 5 homers, batted .500 with on-base of .531, and an on-base percentage of 1,033.
Garbage.
Yeah, that's
horrible.
all he did. Nah, he ain't do nothing.
Yeah.
Man.
And it's funny because last night I had him for DFS and he only got me 6 points.
Another more reason to play him tonight because, dude, that's what he does. He has like
It's
a little
like
night
every
off.
other night.
He'll hit 2 homers again tonight. Trust me. That's what he does. That's what he's been doing. At one point, he had 7 homers in 9 games.
Yeah.
It was disgusting, but I loved it.
I got
'cause
him on the
own him.
off night. It's all right. It was a free one.
Now, in terms of the NL Player of the Week, it's pretty simple. You pitch 2017's first no-no, you get NL Player of the Week, and that's Edison Volquez.
Yes,
Certainly a great accomplishment. I like how he dedicated it to his friend that he lost, Yadano Ventura. I was very happy for him. But don't go rushing out to the waiver wire for him because I expect 5 more duds after this no-no.
Yeah.
It just sometimes you're in that groove, and he almost didn't finish this game. He twisted that. I believe
Right in the first inning.
Was it the ankle?
Yeah,
It was the ankle,
yeah.
right in the first inning.
Literally.
They taped it up, and he was fine. And then I think it was the 4th or 5th inning, he was like, I can't go anymore. And he just stuck it out and winds up pitching a no-hitter. It's just a great story.
But you know
That's
that's when you pull magic. You know, when you're not ready for it. You know, look at who was it? I can't remember who it was that threw a perfect game on LSD.
Oh, the bird.
The bird, yeah.
Yeah.
Bird Fidrich or whatever his name. Fidrich, right? Something like that.
I look at a Tigers pitcher.
Yeah, he was a Tigers pitcher. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's impressive, actually.
I can't think of his name for life. Oh yeah, he talks. They did a 30 for 30 on him on ESPN. And he's just like, yeah, I was whacked out of my mind. I was seeing things flying around.
Oh,
like,
no. Well, I was wrong. Doc Ellis.
It was Doc Ellis?
Yeah, dropped acid and threw a no-hitter.
Yep.
That's what you're talking about, right? Yeah.
Yep. Tripping balls.
Well, then you had freaking David Wild Boomer. He was drunk off his ass through a perfect game for the Yankees.
Yeah, I remember that. He said he was trashed. He said he came to the stadium still drunk from the night before. Like, he literally, I forgot what he said. I think he said he drank a beer on the way to the stadium just to get himself right. And threw a perfect game.
Been there before, son.
What was it? I think Doc Gooden had like an 18 strikeout game, coked up out of his mind, him and Strawberry.
I believe that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that Strawberry, I believe.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, man. Guys have been performing. Guys have done some magical things
the league
while
of
whacked
drugs.
out of their minds, bro.
It's the league of drugs, man.
Sometimes that stuff actually helps you focus better.
Yeah,
And I don't know
Adderall.
why.
Well, it's because you're messed up, man. You got to focus. Like,
Yeah.
You're sitting up there.
You
With,
must focus.
like
I mean, how
bench
do you,
warmers.
I'm just saying.
I am 12.
I am Groot.
Sitting there, seeing the pitcher talking to something. Who's the pitcher talking? He's got like a little elf on his shoulder. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you want me to throw that? All right.
I mean, yeah, tripping on acid. That's got to be bananas throwing a baseball, tripping on acid.
Bananas.
I couldn't even imagine. Absolutely not. I couldn't even imagine.
No, I definitely couldn't.
Like, you have to think like the ball coming back at you is like a dragon or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. That's banana. That's just so impressive, that the fact that he could do something like that. Anyone could do anything like that. It's insane to me.
No, I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
Even like drunk, I feel like I'd be falling over. After just throwing one pitch, I'd be on my face.
Well, that would make a lot of sense, because if you ever rewatch that perfect game Boomer Wells threw, if you notice, he stumbles off the mound after every pitch. If you actually watch, he looks like he's drunk on the mound.
I'll have to look at that later.
If you can find the game, watch the game. Just watch his follow through. If you can see enough of it on every pitch, it's almost like he's falling over when he's throwing pitches. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, I would be that guy that's on his face, just laying there, arms out, looking like I'm dead.
In the face.
In the face.
All right, that's going to do it for our walking mass unit. And it's being brought to you by the BMW Atlantic City dealership. They challenge its sales team, and they must sell 100 vehicles, which means one thing, fellas. You save. Right now, lease a certified pre-owned elite 2017 BMW 320i with xDrive. Just $299 a month for 36 months. The ultimate driving experience is closer than you think. BMW of Atlantic City. Easy to get 2 minutes off of exit 37 on the Garden State Parkway, or check them out online, bmwatlanticcity.com. Parkway. I don't know. I'm saying Parkway all day today. Anyway, on the other side, we're going to get some batter ad recommendations, some two-star pitchers, some streaming pitchers, some guys that can help with all of these injuries in fantasy baseball league play. This is Fantasy Dominance Now, only on a2dradio.com.
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real talk, a2dradio.com.
Hey, do you need to get get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet. Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
And welcome back to Hour 2 of Fantasy Dominance Now, only on a2dradio.com. We got a couple comments coming in, all saying one player in response to our poll question, which is, what's the best MLB DFS lock of the night? A lot of people going for Arenado, believe it or not, above Chris Bryant and George Springer.
That's surprising. I mean, he is swinging a good bat right now, but it's still a little surprising.
Yeah, definitely take a quick look at the matchup that he's facing tonight on...
I do believe they're playing the Cleveland Indians.
Cleveland Indians.
And Mike Clevenger, which is a good matchup in Colorado. I know that. Antonio Santazalo going the other way, I believe.
Sanzatella.
Whatever.
I'll get into them a little bit here in our ad recommendations, which are being brought to you by Liberty Event Rentals. For all your party needs, contact them 267-314-7368. Look them up online, libertyeventrentals.com.
So all you're saying is, if I wanted to cut out 15 minutes earlier, I just got to cut you off in the next read, right?
There you go.
All right.
Exactly.
Bet.
It's how we make money.
And I'm not saying our great sponsors aren't great sponsors.
Oh, I know you. We're just eager. We're all fantasy nerds here. We want to get out the info, man. We love talking fantasy sports. You want to come talk with us, there's only one way to do that. Well, a couple avenues, but you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. You like it, our Facebook page. You subscribe to our YouTube channel. All the things, you search a2dradio.com. One guy I'm going to advocate as a batter ad is Lucas Duda at first base. If you're hurting in first base, maybe you were a Freddie Freeman owner and you're still looking to replace him, Duda might be your man. 3 homers, 5 RBIs the last 7 days, and a 328 isolated power, 282 batting average of balls in play, and a 402 weighted on base average on the season. These are all great numbers. I mean, the ISO will probably come down, but I'll take it in the 2s. That's great numbers, and Lucas Duda is just, on that power surge right now. So take advantage and add him, get him on your lineup.
Yeah.
I'm with you. First base, I kind of mentioned this guy a little bit earlier. This is Logan Morrison from the Tampa Bay Rays. He's only owned in, I believe, 42% of leagues. He's got one of the highest numbers in home runs on the free agency. He's 37 RBIs, 30 walks. So he'll get on base. His on-base percentage is pretty good. His only downfall is he strikes out a lot, but
who doesn't?
Right.
Yeah, this is today's baseball, my friend.
Baseball today, 51 strikeouts isn't really that high at this point, but
well, it's comparative. How many at bats and 51 strikeouts?
185 at bats.
I mean, that's not that bad. That's under 30%. That's like 26%, 28%. I mean, that's kind of like almost league average. I mean, like the better hitters in the game now strike out about that percent, 25, 28% of the time.
Truth.
You know what he's going up against Jose Quintana tonight in the Chicago White Sox. So I'd say go out and get him.
Yeah, I mean, Quintana has a good matchup on paper, but if you look at batting average or BVP numbers, not so much. And Lomo has definitely hit around Quintana, who has been struggling over his last 2 starts.
Yeah, Quintana's 2-7 on the season this year. So
yeah, I mean, not a good. I mean, they have a decent offense behind him, but not a great defense.
Lower that value so the Mets can swoop him up. That's fine with me.
Pirates have been
We're not doing that now, bro. We're not doing that now. I'm convinced if we go anywhere to pilfer anything, it's probably going to be in Detroit because Detroit's looking to blow that up, and we'll go get a Verlander and possibly another infield bat.
If you get Verlander, I'm
bring Kate to New York.
Hey, I'll take Verlander and Alex Avila all day. What? I'll take that. I'll take that all day, my friend.
Yeah, another first baseman if you're struggling there as well. Yonder Alonso of Oakland. He's owning roughly about 60% of leagues, but 16 home runs, 34 ribbies, 29 runs.
I have him already.
He's been lighting it up. He's a free agent still in my other league. So.
I got 2 guys for you, right? I got 2 guys, both multi-position eligible players. First base, third base, DH eligible if you have that in the league. Ryan Healy, absolutely tearing the cover off the baseball, only owning 35% of leagues right now. 4 home runs, 10 RBIs over his last 7 games. Over that stretch, he's 10 for 27 with 7 extra base hits. No walks, though. Only 6 strikeouts, though, over that 27 at-bats. So he's definitely putting the ball in play. Definitely a guy to look at. Obviously, a lot of people are still trying to figure out what to do about Trout in replacement of him. An outfielder that I had real quick, since I just have everything kind of blocked out. Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yes, sir.
Tearing the cover off baseball. 8 for his last 19 over his last 7. 2 home runs, 10 RBIs in that stretch. 5 walks to 4 strikeouts in that stretch. So, again, another guy who's really just seeing the ball well, putting the ball in play. He is owned in 71% of leagues at the moment. So, if he is available, definitely scoop him up immediately. One more guy, because we talked about.
Let's not move past him real quick, because I got some more stats about Bradley. Really quick. He's on a 6-game hitting streak right now, and it also includes hits in 9 of his last 11 games. To your point, with over the last 7 days, 2 homers, 11 RBIs, and a 1-to-1 walk to K ratio over the last 15.
Nice.
If he can maintain that. Man, this is a must-add. And, hey, let's look at the glass half full. He's available in 30% of leagues.
Exactly. He's available across the board. And another guy who's first base eligible, but he's also catcher eligible. And this is important, the catcher part, because we know there's been a few injuries. You know what I mean? A lot of guys who've traditionally been good hitting catchers have really struggled.
Wellington Castillo just hit the DL as another guy.
Yep.
I forgot. Yeah,
but that I mentioned earlier in the injury report. Yeah. Alex Avila. Go pick him up. Why not? I mean, he doesn't play every day as of yet. I mean, they're still giving him spot rest because he is a little bit of an older player. But 3 for 11 over his last 7. 2 home runs, 3 RBIs in that stretch. More importantly, he is first base eligible, so he does give you that little bit of roster flexibility. Granted, he did get the day off yesterday.
Right.
But, he basically plays every other day.
He should be their starting catcher. They're just in love with James McCann for some reason.
317. Like, why is he not your everyday catcher?
Yeah, it's frustrating. As frustrating as Evan Gaddis.
Yeah.
He hasn't even played in, the last, 5 games. What's going on there?
I don't know, but I got a pretty good replacement for Mike Trout. Max Kepler from the Minnesota Twins. He's on a 7-game hitting streak. He's got 3 multi-hit games in that 7 games. He's got 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. He's got 3 stolen bases on the year. He's a good young player. He's only owned in 29.7% of leagues.
People are sleeping on Max Kepler, man.
His average isn't pretty. He's batting a fairly average 269.
That's respectable, though.
It is respectable. He's been hot as of late. I say go get him.
Right.
I already did.
Ride it while he's hot, man.
Yeah, man.
You have to.
Ride it while he's hot. A couple other outfielders that are red hot right now that definitely at least worth rostering right now. Not going to replace Mike Trout, but these are guys that are going to be highly productive players. Denard Span, he's finally back and healthy in San Francisco. He's a table setter. He's a guy who's going to score a lot of runs there and probably steal a few bases still. Over his last 7. He's 8 for 22. Got an RBI, 3 walks to 2 strikeouts, 6 runs scored over that stretch, couple of doubles. Again, not great, not huge production, but quality and consistent production. Dexter Fowler, he's a guy who's really heated up finally in St. Louis. 6 for his last 25, 2 home runs over that stretch. 5 walks, 5 strikeouts, but 2 stolen bases during that stretch in his last 7. Another guy to definitely take a look at, a consistent player.
I want to read this off to you guys really quickly, just to kind of back up your point, Brian. I've played 164 big league games. I've only hit 241 with a 742 OPS, but I've also hit 22 homers with 84 RBIs and 78 runs scored. Oh, and I left out, I've also stolen 9 bases. The last calendar year, the following outfielders, that's the position I play, have gone 241, 22 homers, 84 RBIs, 78 runs scored, 9 stolen bases. It's a small list. Chris Bryant, Justin Upton, Charlie Blackmon, Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, Bryce Harper, Christian Yelich. I am Max Kepler. When you're getting that type of fantasy production for a guy that's low cost in DFS leagues and certainly available in fantasy baseball leagues, it's impressive.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's quite impressive, actually.
Yes.
I have another outfielder, and I've mentioned him earlier today too, is Domingo Santana, who's riding a 5-game hitting streak. He's got 2 home runs in those 5 games, 1 stolen base, 2 RBIs, but this isn't the first 5-game hitting streak that he's had in the last 12 or 13 games. He's had one earlier from the 26th to the 29th. I'm sorry, it was 4 games, not 5. So yeah,
Still impressive.
He's seeing the ball well. He's hitting it well. He's got 4 home runs in that span. He's got 10 on the year, 5 stolen bases. He's one of those players that's showing that he can do everything.
Right. I was very high on Keon Broxton, and this man to my right said, forget about Keon Broxton. Look at Domingo Santana. And,
Yeah, he's starting to show why.
Yeah.
Again, his average is not where I would like to see it, but it's still up there. It's respectable. It's same as Max Kepler, 269, but it's still early in the season. It's
Early in his
plenty of time to bring it up, too.
Early in his career, too. I believe the kid's only 24, so, you got to give him time. Give him
Yeah.
time to figure it out. But I like the skill set. I don't think he'll ever be a 300 hitter, but hey, you don't have to be a 300 hitter when you're hitting 25, 30 bombs and stealing like 15 bases.
Yeah, he's already up to
Yeah,
10.
he's being productive in other ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's stealing bags, too, with the 5 stolen bases.
Right.
He was, another guy, like you said earlier in the show. I talked about him a little more after you said his name. But, in a league like mine where he's right field eligible, it's a good pickup considering, a guy like Gregory Polanco is not having the season that we thought that he would have.
Right.
That whole
Right.
Pittsburgh team is kind of struggling, though. I mean, that team
Yeah.
is just out of whack.
I mean, I'm surprised that even McCutchen had his 9th home run just a couple days ago against, you guys, your Mets. So.
He's been turning it around. He's definitely been turning it around.
yeah, I expect to see him in another uniform next month.
I mean, at this rate, it's, I love Kutch, but.
Oh, no, it's time.
I don't expect it, though, because you're not going to get the value for a former MVP in this league.
His value is
His
shit
value
right
is
now.
low right now. You want to kind of maybe ride out, like if he provides it. It's it's like playing the stock market, Doug. So it's
Yeah,
tough.
that's
You know
true.
what I mean? Maybe they have to jump on something, but I'm just saying that they're going to wait for that value to go up.
There's no
before they
reason
move
to
him.
rush it right now. I mean,
Well, isn't he in the last year of his contract, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, he is.
He's pending free agent. So there
Yeah.
is kind of a need to rush it because you kind of let it go too long.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
reality says they should have dealt him 2 years ago coming off the MVP season.
Yeah.
They should have made that move because they would have gotten so much for him. And it was the right move because you knew you weren't really ready to really contend.
Right.
Like they were a perennial playoff team, but they knew they weren't really there yet.
No, we weren't there, but I mean, we definitely had our chance.
Oh,
you know?
absolutely. You got to take it when you got it, and they did. I mean, I respect the hell out of them for it. I rooted for them
We
at
had
points for
the
it.
Coltrane that was actually the Coltrane. Getting us what he had 18 wins that one season. He was he was one of the top 5 pitchers that year.
Yeah.
And now it's like there's nobody in our lineup that teams are scared to face. I mean, yeah, Garrett Cole's been, subpar this year. I mean, he's been playing all right. I mean, he's got a pretty low ERA, but it's just if for some reason when he's pitching, our offense doesn't come out to play either.
Yeah, he's just been marginal, man. I mean, there's unfortunately not much else you could say to it.
He's not that, 8 strikeout guy consistently,
No, he's
which
not.
is not, we need that. And that's why they were even talking about him getting rid of him late last season too. So,
Well, they're still talking about getting rid of him now because they know they're in rebuild mode.
well, because
still.
I mean, the Pirates are just, we have an all-star, time to get rid of him.
Yeah.
That's how they've been, and that's why they don't go to the playoffs every year. It's because it's just we're not going to build, we're going to get rid of.
Could be worse. Could be a Marlins fan.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
Truth.
that's just a shame down there.
Back it up to the catcher position. This is my last batter ad before we move on to pitching ads. Mike Zunino. He's a guy I was very high on. Didn't get drafted a lot.
You love that guy.
I do. I love him as a hitter, man. But boy, did he put mud in my face. Just had an awful, awful April and early part of May. But he's busting out of it in a big way. He has 30.5 fantasy points over the last 7 days, including 4 doubles and 11 RBIs. He's just finally hitting like I envisioned him at the beginning of the season. So I'm taking advantage while I can because I've been doing like a carousel of catchers all season, and it's just continuing.
Yeah, and that carousel is not going to stop anytime soon, my friend, because it's crazy. It's been a crazy year for catching production. There's just none.
Yeah.
Like even the guys you expected, like Posey's been hurt for a while with the concussion and whatnot, so he missed a lot of time. He's still best catcher in the game, most productive catcher in the game. But, you had the time missed there. JT Realmuto has been very up and down this season. Gary Sanchez has been hurt a lot this season and was cold when he wasn't. He just started heating up over the last couple weeks of the season. So it's tough. Very, very tough.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. It's been a tough position. It definitely. I thought it was just me.
Yeah, catching sucks this year.
No, catching's been terrible, man.
It's horrible.
I'm lucky that
Ugh.
I've gotten what I've gotten out of Gary Sanchez, and then when I didn't have Gary Sanchez, I had Alex Avila.
Oh, dang it. That was the point I was going to bring up, is that, I mean, Sanchez was out hurt for a little bit, so of course his numbers are going to be down a little bit, right? But people are like jumping, off the Brooklyn Bridge. Like, oh, where's the Gary Sanchez from last year? No way is he repeating what he did last year.
Yeah.
There's no way. And what he's doing this year is still solid catcher performance.
It's more than respectable. He's putting up very solid numbers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, granted, like a lot of it's come since he's returned off the DL. But 6 home runs, 15 RBIs. Only 8 extra base hits, though. I think that's where more like a lot of the people are like, well, what's wrong with Gary Sanchez because he's not getting the extra base hits. But Gary Sanchez is still being productive. He's got 29 strikeouts to 12 walks. Granted, he's still striking out way too much for my liking. 29 strikeouts through 108 at bats. I don't like that. But that's what you get. That's what you get with a slugging catcher.
Yeah. That is what you get.
Then you also have guys like Yadier Molina who've been, traditionally a good hitting catcher he's just floundering this year. Like he's not the same catcher that he's not the same catcher that he was before. And I get that he's got a little, age on most of these other guys, but I just don't think Yadi's been Yadi this year.
Yeah, age is catching up to him, man.
Yeah, I think so too.
I've never seen him look this slow in his life.
No, and to get
love it every minute of it.
Fooled by Chris Coughlin the way he did.
Yeah. Told you I wasn't going to slide. Anyway, let's move on to some pitching recommendations being brought to you by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Give them a call, 856-939-2030. Check them out online, sportsoutletinc.com.
Ah, damn it, I missed my spot.
Yes, you did. I got it off too quick. I'll start with...
That's what she said.
That sounds like a personal problem.
Coming to you live Tuesday, June 6th, about 1:31 in the afternoon right now. So we got to give you a lot of two-star pitchers that are Tuesday through Sunday. There's still a good amount of them, though. I talked about them a little bit before. I'm going to elaborate now. Jaime Garcia versus the Phillies tonight versus our Mets on Sunday, Doug. He's only 20% owned. Wednesday's night strong outing versus the Angels marked Garcia's third straight quality start and lowered his season ERA to a 3.18. Very quietly, the veteran lefty is piecing together a fine season in his first year with the Braves, which is not overly surprising considering his proven big league track record. The Phillies rank in the bottom third of the majors in runs, batting average, and OPS. Now, the matchup against our Mets, Doug, a little bit tougher, but the Mets still place 11th in runs. It's not in the top 5. It's not in the top 10 outside of it, but it's more challenging. But Garcia's impressive recent results, along with his favorable first matchup of the week, I think gives you enough reason that, you're going to roll with them, in a 2-start week.
Oh, yeah. No, you're definitely going to roll with them in a 2-star week. I think it's a solid matchup. Two solid matchups, not ideal matchups, but, with the way he's been pitching, they're good enough for him. Good enough for me.
Yep.
If I need a starter. Guy I went with for a 2-start week this week. I have to open it up.
You need some time?
No.
You got it?
David Paulino.
Oh, David Paulino.
I mean, I'm assuming he's going to have the 2-star week because I don't believe Joe Musgrove is going to be ready to return. So obviously I picked him up for tonight's start, especially against Kansas City. Ideal matchup, worst offensive team in the league. His second matchup, which is the matchup most people don't expect him to have, is against Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim on Sunday. I love that matchup because, again, no Trout. You know what I mean? Pujols a little bit older. Like, he doesn't get around. The bat doesn't get around as fast as it used to. So
Since the grand slam the other night.
When? So therefore, the bat doesn't get around as much as it used to. Like I think it's gonna be a good start for Paulino. Plus, he's a power arm. I mean, this guy throws in the high 90s, almost 100. Like, that's tough. That's tough to hit.
That is tough,
especially for old man.
I think it makes a great deep league play, though, Doug. I mean, maybe even in a shallower league too, or whatnot, just to be like a little crafty on the waiver wire. But maybe even a deeper league, an absolute solid must. you talked about him before in a deeper league, Antonio Sanzatella versus Cleveland at Cubs, 69% owned. Those aren't the greatest of matchups, but Sanzatella has allowed 4, and on top of that, he's allowed 4 earned runs in 3 of his past 4 starts. So this definitely makes it a deep league option. But the promising rookie carries a 3.49 ERA, a 1.16 WHIP into this 2-start stanza, and believe it or not, he's actually pitched better at Coors Field, where he's 5-1 with a 3 ERA and a 1.1 WHIP, than on the road, where he's 2-1 with a 4.18 ERA and a 1.25 WHIP. Both the Indians and the Cubs do rank in the bottom third of the majors in runs scored, batting average, and OPS in May. So I think there's reason to be optimistic on taking a long shot with Sanzatella this week.
I could see that. I mean, Sanzatella's had a pretty solid year all in all. I mean, he should be owned in all leagues at this point. He's not really a guy that should be on your waiver wire, but if he is, you got to scoop him up.
69% owned, so like I said, half full, 30% available in your leagues if you pick him up. But if you're going to start him, if you're going to start him with confidence. Man, I'm going to say start him with confidence.
Oh, now he's backing off.
Well, because of the matchups, but based on the numbers that we've seen in the May from Cleveland and from Chicago, it makes it a little bit better. I'd say start him, but keep your fingers crossed.
I say start him with confidence.
Yeah,
I like where he's at right now. I like how he's pitching, and I like the team, the way they're playing right now. So I'm starting him with confidence.
All right, cool. Start him with confidence.
You gotta have confidence.
Another guy I'm starting with confidence on a 2-start week. Guy I already mentioned, and most people don't know who he is. San Diego Padres pitcher, Dilament, right?
Lamet.
Dillison Lamet.
Yep.
There we go. I can't say this dude's name, man. I don't know where he's from. But I just like the matchups. Again, Arizona's a team that does strike out quite a bit. Robbie Ray has the propensity to give up the long ball. And San Diego's a much more patient team. They don't strike out as much. They're not a great offensive team, but they do put the ball in play. And that always bodes well for teams when you can put the ball in play.
Sure.
Plus, the second matchup he has is the Sunday start on the road, at home, I should say, at home versus Kansas City. There we go. Can't get words out of my mouth today. Again, great matchup here. You're talking about one of the worst offensive teams in all of baseball. And this kid's look legit. Like I'm rolling with it with confidence this week in a 2-star week. I like it.
Nice. All right, let's move. Any other 2-star pitchers?
I got one. Mike Clevenger from Cleveland, despite the fact that he's going to Colorado and he's got to face that tough Rockies lineup, I think he can have a good start here tonight. He's one of those pitchers that he's got decent stuff. He likes to let his defense do some of the work for him. He's had some very good starts in the last couple weeks. Played against Kansas City where he got roughed up a little bit, but Kansas City's, that lineup it can do some damage. But he shut down the Houston Astros. He has shut down the Oakland Athletics. I think he can shut down the Colorado Rockies.
Sounds good. Let's go pay some bills, guys, so we can have some time on the other side. We'll maybe give a couple more streaming options and pitchers, and definitely talk about what's been a pretty boring NBA Finals so far after 2 games.
Sweep!
All this and more on Fantasy Dominance now, only on A2DRadio.com. Being brought to you by the Soap Stash, the new Soap Standard. You can give them a call, 844-890-3197. Look them up online, soapstash.com, or check them out on Facebook, where you can do all your ordering. Very easy, very convenient. Soap Stash LLC. They're the new Soap Standard. Great for your skin. All kinds of hygiene products. We here use them. You should too. We'll catch you on the other side. Fantasy Dominance now.
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real talk, A2DRadio.com.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard. A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
Very funky show today on Fantasy Dominance Now here on A2DRadio.com, being brought to you by BMW of Atlantic City Dealership. And they wanted to remind you that they challenge its sales team and they must sell 100 vehicles, which means you save. Right now, Lease is certified pre-owned elite, 2,000 scoring games up in Mass. I've seen him down here playing the Thunder. He has great stuff. It's really all about control issues with him, which he demonstrated improvement this season between the minors and 2 MLB starts.
He did. From when I saw him last year pitching, I did see improvement throughout that season when he was going up and down between Boston and AAA Pawtucket. I saw a guy who's starting to develop his control, starting to actually learn how to pitch and not just throw the baseball. So this is a kid who has upside,
right?
A lot of upside, actually.
If he pitches well, he's got Erod Spot, who's out long term, as we said before. I think it could easily result in at least 5 or 6 starts for Brian Johnson if he does pitch well.
He could probably take a roster spot or a rotation spot if he pitches well. I am not sold on Drew Pomeranz at this point. I think his rotation spot is in danger. He's just pitching horribly. And if Rick Porcello continues to be up and down, I mean, his rotation spot might also be in jeopardy, despite being a Cy Young candidate.
I don't know. Pomerantz has 19 strikeouts in his last 2 starts. So.
Yeah, but how many runs?
3.
That's not bad. For him, that's surprising. I expected like 7.
Innings.
Right.
Yeah, I expected 7.
I don't mean to cut off the conversation, but I don't want you guys to not give your streaming pitchers. We have roughly about 4 minutes left. Go.
I'm streaming Ty Blatch tomorrow. Already picked him up against Milwaukee. This kid has had 4 straight quality starts. Yeah, 5 straight quality starts, going at least 7 innings in all 5 of those starts. And he's gone at least 7 innings in 6 of his 7 starts, 6 of his last 7. So I love this kid, and quality starts in 6 of those 7 as well. This kid's on fire right now. Pick him up, see what happens, but I'm rolling with him.
Roll with him.
Roll with him.
Yeah, I'm going for tonight's game. I'm going Chase Anderson against San Francisco tonight. San Francisco's been a shaky team the past couple of nights, and Anderson's been finding his target. Only 1 hit allowed against Arizona and only 3 hits allowed against the Mets in his last start, 18 strikeouts in 14 innings. So
right.
Let's hope he could do it again tonight.
Absolutely.
Except for Brandon Crawford. Crawford could hit a home run if he wants.
Yeah. Another guy, if he's available in your league, Sean Menina.
Yes.
He's won his last 4 starts. The last 3 have all been quality starts. He struck out at least 7 batters in his last 3 starts. I believe it's a combined 24 strikeouts over his last 3 starts. So he's killing it. Saturday start at Tampa Bay.
Right on. Brian, you got any streamers?
Not really.
We're going streaming through the quads.
The only guy that I really saw that could do some damage is Tim Edelman tonight, and I feel like I've mentioned his name enough tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
Another streamer, as long as this does line up, Steven Matz reportedly will start Saturday's game. Saturday's game.
Yeah, it's a doubleheader, yeah.
At Atlanta. That's what it's tentatively scheduled as. So he'd be a guy I'm definitely adding, not just streaming.
Right, absolutely. All right, guys, we didn't have time to get into the NBA Finals, but luckily they're pretty boring.
It's over.
Golden State up 2-0.
Yeah.
Hasn't been close matchups. So one thing I'll ask you to end the show, guys, is, since they're halfway to the sweep, they go on to win this Finals. Where would you rank them all time?
That's hard to just.
I'm not ranking them anywhere all time. I mean, they won their second title in 3 years. That's all.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, it's just, for me, it's just the fact that, they came off the best season ever in NBA history, and then they added a top 3 player who's, a multiple all-star guy, and it's just, to me, it's nothing special for me. I mean, come on, you're already added to a dominant team, and then to add an all-star like that is just pure coward.
If they do go 16-0 though to end the finals,
That's phenomenal.
it would be a great feat, a great accomplishment. It'd be one of the greatest feats in NBA playoff history. Doesn't make them an all-time great team though.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's
Good.
awesome, but is it really?
Now, if they do it again, if they win again next year, then we can talk.
Yeah, that's all.
Absolutely.
Nothing special.
It's a good way to end on it.
Poor
Nothing
LeBron.
special.
No.
Go NHL playoffs. Screw the NBA
Hey,
playoffs.
Barkley said it best, man. Best playoffs going right now is the NHL, baby. I have to agree with that wholeheartedly.
I definitely agree.
We're going to wrap up here. Matt Cinciuti bringing you all the fantasy dominance from the production chair. Brian Daly, Mike Kleinkoff, Doug Pitchford, yours truly, Rob Povia. We'll catch you next week. Good luck in your DFS leagues. Good luck in your fantasy baseball leagues. Hit us up. #AskFDN.